Hello everyone and welcome to my Emmerdale Story channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Emmerdale has never been short of heartache, but few storylines have struck as deeply as the tragic accident that claimed the life of John Sugden. The shocking twist left fans reeling, and the fictional village forever changed. It was a moment that blended raw emotion, devastating realism, and the heartbreak of love and loss, the kind of storytelling that has defined Emmerdale for generations. John Sugden, known as the strong, dependable farmer and patriarch of the Sugden family, had always been the steady hand holding his family together. With his wife Moira by his side and their children, Adam, Holly, and Hannah, looking up to him, John embodied everything good about hard work, loyalty, and quiet resilience. But in one cruel twist of fate, everything that made him the heart of the family was ripped away in an instant. The accident unfolded on a dark, rain-slicked night, one of those Yorkshire evenings when the roads glistened like glass under the headlights. John and Moira had been arguing, a raw, emotional confrontation born from weeks of tension. Their marriage, once solid as the stones that built their farmhouse, had begun to crack under the weight of betrayal and mistrust. Moira's affair had torn open wounds that refused to heal, and John, ever proud and stubborn, struggled to forgive. As the storm raged outside, their car skidded across a country lane, the tires losing grip on the wet road. The vehicle spun violently, crashing through a barrier before plunging down an embankment. In those final, chaotic seconds, John's only thought was of Moira and making sure she survived. When the car came to rest, crumpled and silent, John was pinned inside, struggling to breathe. Moira, dazed and injured, called out his name through the rain, refusing to believe what had just happened. The emergency services arrived, their flashing lights cutting through the darkness, but the damage was already done. Moira was pulled from the wreckage, shaken and bloodied, while John remained trapped. Despite the desperate efforts of the rescue team, John's injuries were too severe. He was airlifted to hospital, but his life slipped away before dawn. The aftermath of John Sugden's death rippled through Emmerdale like a shockwave. Moira, devastated and guilt-ridden, could hardly bear to look at herself. The weight of their final argument haunted her, the words left unsaid, the apology never spoken. Adam, broken and angry, turned that pain inward, blaming his mother and struggling to forgive her for the part she played in the tragedy. At John's funeral, the village came together in solemn silence. The church, filled with familiar faces, felt emptier than ever. Moira's trembling hands clutched a single white rose as she approached the coffin. The vicar's voice trembled as he spoke of John's kindness, his loyalty, and the strength he brought to everyone who knew him. Even the hardest souls in the Dales shed tears that day. For fans, the loss was more than just another soap twist. John Sugden represented the heart of Emmerdale, a man of integrity, grounded in family and tradition, a link to the show's rural roots. His death marked the end of an era and set Moira on a long, painful journey of guilt, redemption, and survival. In the months that followed, Moira threw herself into running the farm, trying to honor John's memory the only way she knew how, by keeping the Sugden legacy alive. Yet, every sunrise over the fields reminded her of what she had lost. His voice lingered in her mind, his touch a fading memory. The sight of his old truck parked by the barn became both a comfort and a wound. The storyline was one of Emmerdale's most powerful, not because it relied on spectacle, but because it captured something deeply human, the fragility of life, the weight of regret, and the enduring pain of love lost too soon. Viewers praised the raw performances from the cast, particularly Natalie J. Robb's portrayal of Moira's grief and James Thornton's haunting final scenes as John. Even years later, fans still talk about John Sugden's tragic accident as one of the soap's most heartbreaking moments. It wasn't just about the crash, it was about everything that led to it, the love story that fell apart, and the unspoken forgiveness that would never come. In the end, John's death became more than just a tragedy. It became a turning point for the Sugden family and for Moira's character. His loss reminded everyone, both in the village and among the viewers, that even the strongest hearts can break, and that sometimes the hardest goodbyes are the ones we never get to say. Emmerdale will move on, as it always does, but the echoes of that stormy night will never truly fade. John Sugden may be gone, but his spirit, his courage, his love, and his quiet strength lives on in every sunrise over those Yorkshire hills.